What's up, Nitrogang? This is the Traxxas Jado 3.3. It has one fatal flaw. Upgrade your brakes to the hot racing $40 upgrade set. And I said, no man, I want to stick to stock. And then he said, okay, how about you flip them? Flip the brake cam lever. And I said, I don't know how that's going to work. Well, let me test it out. We got the Nitrogang out here. Nitro World Order. Let's start her up. Since this is the fastest Nitro ready to run, you could still buy brand new today. I will say that it could beat about 95% of all brand new electrics. And I think it's actually even faster than the 1/7 scale ARMA felony and infraction just from the out-of-the-box setup. Of course, those cars are faster if you do put on the larger 25-tooth pinion, in which case they will only have a couple of runs before they start overheating. The Jado here, it could easily hit 65 miles per hour on a factory stock 3.3 motor, and it will still run all day long. But even though it's very fast, as I said before, there's one fatal flaw, and that flaw is the brakes. In many videos, I've run this, and a lot of times I wind up losing races, not because this thing isn't fast. That's because not only is it a two-wheel drive chassis, because this is just a stadium truck, and I'm almost always up against four-wheel drive ARMAs and Traxxas Rustler 4x4s that are using their AVC constantly. I have no driver aids on this. I'm running two-wheel drive. I can yell two-speed baby, but the two-speed baby doesn't really save me when I have terrible brakes. I've even said in my own video where I raced an ARMA and another Traxxas that I lost because of the brakes, because I have to basically brake so far in advance that I really don't get a high enough cornering speed. Anyways, take a look at some of these clips and then we'll come back and discuss the brake fix, because this is going to be genius, guys. It's pure genius. What's up, guys? I'm out here at the track. I got my Traxxas Jado 3.3. My competition for today is a 4x4 Traxxas Rustler. And then we got probably the most epic over YouTubed RC in existence, the ARMA infraction. Did I lose? It doesn't matter. My brakes, it's my brakes, guys. It's not my fault, it's my brakes. I gotta rebuild the brakes. This Jado has what's known as the phantom braking problem. Every now and then, you gotta rebuild the brakes, basically take it all apart, put it back together, get the tolerances all right. Okay, welcome back. You saw that. It accelerates fast. Of course, I run very, very rich, so there's still a lot of speed left to be had there. But the main issue is the damn brakes. So we have the body off right now. I'm gonna show you the main braking system. So it consists out of this bell crank, this linkage rod, and the brake cam lever here on the side. Now, I was talking to one of my friends, Cody Hardison, through Instagram. Him and I are in the Nitrogang. You know, he's pretty much a cool dude. He does a lot of lifting. He's much stronger than I am. No matter what I do, he has better gains than I do. But hey, he puts the work into the gym.
Good fucking morning. to fucking pull you out of the sack, beat the fuck out of you.
And of course, he runs a lot of nitros. Here's a couple pictures. He has a HPI Firestorm. He has a Savage. He runs them super rich. In fact, some of the clips in my own videos from a little while ago were clips that he sent over to me. And he told me, dude, I came up with a solution. Upgrade your brakes to the Hot Racing $40 upgrade set. And I said, no, man, I want to stick to stock. And then he said, okay, how about you flip them? Flip the brake cam lever. And I said, I don't know how that's gonna work. Well, let me test it out. Before we do the fix, let's take a look at the Traxxas Explorer parts views here. I've made my own kind of pick here, labeled it really well for you guys. We need to understand how the brakes actually work on this thing before we attempt to fix it. The part number to the entire brake system that we're going to be dealing with is 5567. The problem is with the geometry of the brakes, and I'll show you guys in a little bit. There's three basic parts here. We have the brake cam lever, we have the linkage rod, and we have the bell crank. For this video, we will be flipping the bell crank upside down, and I also will be doing a full 180-degree flip on the brake cam lever. And this, guys, this will give us a completely different steering geometry. I have the radio system on. You guys can see everything seems to be working. So as I said, we're looking at these main components right here. The brake cam lever, the linkage, and the bell crank. So here's a disc brake. If you look at the owner's manual in the Traxxas website, it will say to make sure that first your bolts are tight here and you have very minimal tolerances. So I've already adjusted them as much as I possibly can. I've already exhausted all the possible adjustments I have on the disc brake itself. My brake is also not worn down. It is still above the Traxxas specs of what they say that it should be. It's above 1.8 millimeters as they instruct in the manual. So the main problem is, as I operate the brakes, watch what happens, guys. Look at the brake cam lever. Look at the flex on that. It is hitting the side of the two-speed differential transmission case itself. So you see that? Yeah, the whole plastic lever is just, it's hitting. So basically, no matter what your adjustment is on the servo itself, no matter how strong your servo, what's going to wind up happening is the brake cam lever itself will wind up hitting the side of your transmission case here. So that's the problem. What needs to happen is this brake cam lever needs to travel more. Once I flip the brake cam lever, as you notice, there's no obstruction on this side. So that is where we're gonna get a lot of our extra brake throw and movement from the servo. So let's get on to it. First thing, I'm going to remove this brake cam nut on top here. And now we'll remove this bolt here. Basically just a bushing there, and that's what allows the entire bell crank there to move. All right, so it just comes up like this, a bushing inside, and very simple. It just threads in here to the transmission half, no big deal. Next thing we need to do is lift up the brake cam lever itself. Just use a screwdriver, it'll lift up like this. Very easy. Next thing, we need to remove the linkages. Just slide them out. The goal here is to flip this bell crank upside down. So what happens is, once you flip it, right? Watch this, guys. So this is the normal position. Once it's flipped, just reassemble all of your linkages back. It's kind of complicated here to look at like this, but do one at a time. Do the long brake rod itself first. Now put this one back. They have to thread from the bottom. If you make a mistake, it'll be fairly obvious. Now this is the key element here. When we assemble the brake cam lever, make sure it's facing this direction, not the direction that it was facing before. Then just seat the brake cam lever itself. It's slotted, so there's no way that you can put it off on any other angle other than the way it's supposed to go in. Okay, let's assemble this all back. And guys, we are almost done. What this has done is created a lot of extra slack in the system. So now I could actually feel the brakes are a little bit engaged as I'm moving it. But that's no big deal because we're just going to release some of the tension here going to turn this out a lot. So basically almost all the way to the beginning, I'm turning it out. So I'm relieving some of the brake pressure until, okay, I no longer can feel the brakes engaging at this point. So let's test out the brake system. Check this out. Now when I apply the brake, guys, you can notice that the brake cam lever is swinging the other direction. So brake at this point, right? The brake cam itself is not being obstructed by this transmission case as it was previously. Let's do a brake test now. So I'm just going to roll it forward. Look at those brakes, the wheels lock up. You guys see that? Nothing weird going on. It rolls freely. If you want a little more tension, you still could adjust this brake adjustment. That, you know, that's what Traxxas wants you to do. And you will have even better brakes. Look at that. So that's it, guys. We have figured out the Phantom Jato brake problem. All you had to do is just flip this brake cam lever. Let's do a real live onboard test. Will the wheels lock up? Notice the brake cam is reversed, just like I said. Of course, all my Traxxas 3.3 engines idle like they're God, so nothing at all to worry about. Watch this. We're going to do a short lap and we're going to make sure that the wheels lock up. Yep, brakes are great. The wheels lock up all the way now. Phantom Jato brake problem has been finally solved. Unfortunately, Traxxas seems to have made an oversight and mounted the brake cam lever in the wrong direction where it used to hit the transmission itself. But my buddy from the Nitrogang, Cody Hardison, and we put this one to rest. And now, hopefully next week, there will be an armor infraction at the track and I will challenge him with my now fixed Jato. Thanks so much for watching, guys. See you later. I highly recommend you do this fix yourself.
Your girl so fine, but her breath is like, ooh. She say she wanna dance, but she don't know how to move. Her name is Jenny, ooh. Bitch don't have no panties.